Welcome to Women's Football Weekly. Coming up, we've the best of the action from three top European leagues: Germany's Frauen-Bundesliga, the Première League in France, and Italy's Serie A, where there was a cracking derby in Milan. There was a crucial match in Germany on Friday when champions Bayern Munich hosted title challengers Wolfsburg. Frauen-Bundesliga leaders Bayern had a 3-point cushion over the third-place visitors with only 6 games remaining. The home team created the first major opening after 13 minutes. A cross from Alara Hitler made its way through to Pernille Harder at the back post. 1-0 Bayern as the Dane opened the scoring against her old club. Alexander Strauss's side were off to a good start at the FC Bayern campus. They were seeking an 8th consecutive league win. Wolfsburg would have been level only for Bayern keeper Aina Mahmutovic. The 21-year-old made an outstanding save from Jule Brand on 30 minutes. Brand made the most of a cross from Alexandra Popp. Mahmutovic resembled an ice hockey netminder with that stop. The next goal in a match like this was always vital, and Bayern got it 2 minutes into the second half. Harder connected sweetly with Jovana Damjanovic's ball into the area. The former Chelsea attacker was a prolific goal scorer with Wolfsburg between 2016 and 2020. This one was her 11th of the campaign for Bayern. Wolfsburg almost came up with a response straight away. Lena Latvine thundered a shot off the crossbar from range. Last season's runners-up were the only team to beat Bayern in the league this season, but things weren't going their way in the rematch. Any hopes that the visitors had evaporated after 69 minutes. That was when Harder turned provider for Lea Schuler. Germany striker Schuler scored her 6th goal of the season with what was her first touch after coming on as a substitute. Wolfsburg were headed for their 3rd defeat of the campaign and one that all but ends their title chances. With 14 minutes to play, they did get something to take from this game ahead of their Champions League quarter-final clash against Barcelona. Former Bayern forward Lenneth Berenstein scored a brilliant 13th goal of the season. The league's top goal scorer and the travelling fans won't have taken too much comfort from that strike though. Bayern 3, Wolfsburg 1 was the final score. The pressure was on second-placed Eintracht Frankfurt to respond to Bayern when they travelled to 5th-place Freiburg on Monday. Swiss attacker Geraldine Reuteler drew a good save from Rafaela Borgraffa. Laura Prasnikar found the post with the rebound. Eintracht were hoping to get back to within 3 points of top spot, but a couple of minutes later it was Freiburg who went in front in spectacular fashion. Cora Zikai produced an incredible finish from distance. The 20-year-old Germany international is gaining quite the reputation. This was goal number 8 of an extremely impressive campaign. Eintracht's response was impressive too. With a minute to go until the break, Prasnikar made it 1-1. It was a fine finish on the half volley from the Slovenian. She now has 5 goals for the season. Not long after the hour mark, Eintracht sent on Nicole Agnomi in search of a winner, and she scored within seconds of entering the pitch. Reuteler set up the German attacker's 9th goal so far. Eintracht looked set to close out a 2-1 win, but Freiburg threatened an equaliser as the game entered stoppage time. Lisa Karl got it. She spun away from Pia Sophie Volter to score her 3rd goal this season and make it 2-2. And just seconds later, 2 minutes into additional time, the home side snatched a win. 18-year-old Leila Egli from Switzerland was the hero. She sent the home crowd wild and dealt a huge blow to Eintracht's title chances. 3-2 Freiburg was the final score. Fourth-placed Bayer Leverkusen were at home to mid-table Werder Bremen. The home side jumped into the lead from a corner after only 2 minutes. Lorien Bender took it. Bremen goalkeeper Sofia Nesterova could only help the ball into her own net. It was a moment of misfortune for the Latvia international. 6 minutes before half-time, Leverkusen would double their advantage with one of the goals of the season. 19-year-old Bender cleverly created some room before expertly picking out the top corner. It was a quite brilliant finish from the teenager. 5 minutes into the second half and Bender excelled again for the home team. Caroline Kehrer got the goal, but this was all about Bender's skill in the build-up. Her double drag back did for 2 defenders, and she was unselfish in the end. 5 minutes later, it was 4-0 Leverkusen. Kehrer grabbed her second of the day from Cornelia Kramer's cross. The Canadian attacker Kehrer now has 5 goals for the season. She'd also scored in a 1-1 draw between the sides in Bremen. Everything was clicking for Leverkusen on Sunday. Kramer scored another wonderful goal after 76 minutes. This was the Danes' 8th of the campaign. Bremen had won 1-0 at Leverkusen in the Cup quarter-finals last month and will play in the semi-final in front of a record 57,000 spectators in Hamburg next week. But a miserable day for the visitors continued when substitute Delice Boboy got on the score sheet with 11 minutes to play. The 18-year-old notched her 3rd goal of the campaign. Leverkusen 6, Bremen 0 was how it finished. Leverkusen had lost at Hoffenheim a week previously. On Saturday, third bottom Cologne had been hoping to avoid the same fate. They fell behind after 11 minutes though. Lisan Kaut produced a precise finish from Feli Delacau's pass. That was the fullback's first goal for the club. That lead only lasted 3 minutes. There was no stopping Dora Zeller here. The Hungarian's second goal of the season came against her former team. That made it 1-1, but the turning point in this match arrived just past the half hour. A cross from Chiara Hahn wasn't dealt with by Anna Gerhardt, and she tripped Selina Cerci to concede a penalty. Gerhardt was shown a red card. And it was Marta Kazaya who made the most of her chance from the spot. It was 2-1 to Hoffenheim, thanks to the Spanish defender's 5th strike of the season. Cologne weren't getting much luck, and after 37 minutes, a cross from Cerci flew over Paula Hopp and into the net. Both Kazaya and Cerci had also scored in Hoffenheim's 3-0 victory over Cologne in October. And shortly after half-time, Cerci would get another goal against the club she left last summer. Her 9th of the season from Delacau's pass made it 4-1 Hoffenheim. The top 5 finish is the target for the home team, and they boosted their goal difference with 16 minutes left. Julia Hickelsberger slipped in fellow substitute Fabian Dongus to score. 5-1 Hoffenheim was how it ended. Second bottom Karl Zeiss Jena were hoping to snap an 8-game losing streak. They were home to 6th place Leipzig. It was Jena who struck first 5 minutes into the second half with their 5th goal all season. Leipzig felt that Nelly Juchel had handled the ball right before Noemi Gentile struck it into the net. Gentile's first goal for Jena made it 1-0 to the home side. Leipzig had plenty of pressure after that, and they eventually won a penalty. Gwendoline Mummert took down Marlene Schimmer. The referee pointed to the spot. There was little doubt about the decision. And Giovanna Hoffmann converted the spot kick for her 9th goal of the season. Not the win they'd hoped for, but this was still a valuable point for Jena. 1-1 was the final score. Mid-table Essen were up against Turbine Potsdam. Promoted Potsdam had only managed 3 goals ahead of this match, but they improved on that record 5 minutes in. Israeli defender Irina Kuznetsov was on target. That gave the visitors hope of adding to their measly total of 1 point from 16 league matches. The home side struggled to create chances, but they were gifted a penalty late in the half. It was a rash challenge from Sara Ito on Maika Berenson. Natasha Kowalski made Potsdam pay from the spot. It was a well-taken penalty kick, and Potsdam would suffer another blow inside the final 10 minutes. Mia Schmid handled the ball from Jette ter Horst, and Essen had another penalty. Kowalski converted again. Just about. 5 of her 6 goals this season have come from the spot. Her second of the day gave Essen a 2-1 victory. So Bayern won a crunch match against Wolfsburg, while Eintracht lost ground with defeat in Freiburg. Leverkusen and Hoffenheim were big winners, while Jena picked up a vital point. Bayern have now moved 6 points clear of both Eintracht and Wolfsburg. At the other end, bottom club Potsdam are 3 points from safety. Next weekend, Bayern play Hoffenheim in the cup semi-finals, while Bremen face second-tier Hamburg. In France on Friday, unbeaten champions Lyon played third bottom Reims. The home team were seeking another win ahead of their Champions League quarter-final first leg against Bayern in Germany in midweek. 5 minutes in, Lyon cut through the visiting defence. Ada Hegerberg was the goal scorer. Melchi de Mornay played the final pass to the Norwegian. Reims replied 8 minutes later. On loan from Lyon, Julie Spirot slid the ball through for Anaël Lemogedek. That was her first goal of the season. Back in January, Reims had caused a huge upset by knocking Lyon out of the cup on penalties after a scoreless draw. But Lyon were in ruthless mood here. A trademark header from Wendy Renard made it 2-1 after 38 minutes. The France defender knocks her third goal this season from Selma Basha's corner. That's the way it stayed until 3 minutes after the break. Lindsay Horan, now known by her married name of Lindsay Heaps, set up Dumornay for Lyon's third. And that was goal number 14 of the season for Dumornay. She'd scored twice in Lyon's 3-0 win away over the same opposition in December. Haiti international Dumornay helped Lyon stretch their lead on 64 minutes. German midfielder Sarah Dabritz applied the finishing touch. With 13 minutes left, it was the turn of Australia's Ellie Carpenter to get on the score sheet. And this was her first goal in close to 5 years. As they often do, Lyon added further gloss to the scoreline late on. Substitute Vicky Béchot made it 6-1 in the 90th minute. That goal was created by Jennifer Marosan. And 2 minutes later, the German substitute had another assist. Hegerberg celebrated her first league start of the campaign by grabbing her second goal of the night. Her only other league strike had come against Reims earlier on in the campaign. 4 minutes into injury time, Lyon fullback Carpenter also doubled up with the help of some smart play from Sofia Huerta and Hegerberg. That's 12 league wins in a row for the unbeaten champions. Lyon 8, Reims 1 was the final score. There was a derby in the capital on Saturday as second-placed Paris Saint-Germain hosted Paris FC. A week previously, they'd both won through to the cup final. Tara Elimbi-Gilbert almost got PSG in front on 18 minutes. Paris FC's Nigerian keeper, Chiamaka Nnadozie, reacted just in time. Next, it was the turn of Sakina Karshawi to threaten. Her shot on 34 minutes struck the top of the crossbar. PSG were out to increase their 1-point advantage over the visitors. Merveille Kanjingi tried to catch out Nnadozie in the second half. But there will be no goals in this match. The two Paris clubs shared the points for the second time this season. Mid-table Montpellier were up against fourth from bottom Saint-Etienne. The home side dominated the first half. Cyrielle Blom, just one of several Montpellier players to be denied by the visiting keeper Marine Gignoux. With a minute to play, Montpellier mounted one last attack. Léa Khalifi had a go from outside the area, and Marie Levasseur pounced on the ball, squirmed from Gignoux's grasp. It was cruel on the Saint-Etienne keeper, but Canadian wing-back Levasseur kept the home side's top four hopes alive. Montpellier won by 1-0. Le Havre hosted Guingamp, knowing that a win against the league's bottom team would all but secure their top-flight status for another year. On 34 minutes, Le Havre's persistence finally paid off after Laurie Kans got away down the left. Christy Gavory had her shot saved. Zoe Stevenart then hit the post, but the ball went into the net off Guingamp defender Sophia Gulati. Beaten Cup semi-finalists were hoping to go 5 league games without defeat. But Guingamp got level a minute into first half stoppage time. There was a measure of redemption for Algeria defender Gulati as she headed home the equaliser. That made it 1-1. But on 58 minutes, Guingamp played themselves into trouble. Chancel Efa beat visiting keeper Marie-Morgane Sibert to a short back pass. She was taken down. And Salome Elisor put away the penalty to make it 2-1. It could have been more convincing for the home team, but Sibert made a superb save from Stevenart before the end. Guingamp have now lost their last 12 games though. Le Havre 2, Guingamp 1 was the final score. Fleury were 3 points behind visiting Dijon, a team in 4th position who occupied the final championship playoff spot. These sides had drawn on match day 2. Isata Traore was doing everything she could to get Fleury a victory on match day 17. Before the end, Dijon's Victoria Pinto almost won the game with what would have been her 3rd goal against Fleury this season, but Anne Boutel came to the rescue for the home team. Fleury 0, Dijon 0 was the final score. Promoted pair Nantes and Strasbourg faced each other. Nantes had a penalty after 18 minutes when Anaëlle Chacunte fouled Juliette Mossard. Julie Raban was eyeing up a third goal of the campaign, but her spot kick was saved by Manon Wall. While Nantes are safe in mid-table, second bottom Strasbourg really needed to win this game. The visitors had several chances in the second half, with the best of them, Loreno Azzaro, couldn't find a way past Canada's Emily Burns. Nantes 0, Strasbourg 0 was how this one ended. So the Paris Derby was one of 3 games to finish scoreless. Lyon, meanwhile, have 77 goals this season after putting 8 past Reims. Lyon are 10 points clear of PSG, who stayed a point ahead of Paris FC. At the other end, Strasbourg are now a little closer to safety. Next week, Lyon are at regional rival Saint-Étienne, while PSG visit Guingamp. In Italy, second-placed Inter were home to fifth-placed AC Milan in the derby on Sunday. Maria Milinkovic boosted Inter's title chances on 14 minutes. She scored from Anna Maria Sertarini's corner. Milan levelled 7 minutes before the break. The presence of Monica Rengiotti behind her caused Inter's Beatrice Merlo to turn Chante Dompig's cross into the net. Right on half-time, Michela Cambiaghi had a header brilliantly saved by Laura Giuliani. But another Sertarini corner followed, and this time Cambiaghi was able to register her 5th goal of the season. But Milan fought back again on 65 minutes. Renziotti's cross went in off Milinkovic. Milan on level terms again thanks to another own goal. 3 minutes later, Inter replied. Tessa Boulard scored her 7th of the season to make it 3-2. The Belgian was the beneficiary after Giuliani failed to hold on to Henrietta Chisar's cross. Milan had battled back to draw both previous derbies this season, and with 10 minutes left, the Rossoneri responded again through Evelyn Ige. When Nadine Sorelli's header was saved, Swedish striker Ige was on hand to score her 7th of the season. Giampiero Piovani and Suzanne Backer's teams got a point each after a thrilling 3-3 draw. On Saturday, league leaders Juventus had hosted 4th place Fiorentina. It was the visitors who hit the front after 7 minutes through Vero Bocchetti. The Spaniard did brilliantly after being teed up by Madeline Janogy. In tough conditions, the home team huffed and puffed before half-time. Sofia Cantore was off target from Cristiana Girelli's scooped pass. Cantore had Juve's best chance in the second half. She was on the end of Paulina Krumbiegel's cross, but Cicely Fiskerstrand saved. With 14 minutes left, Vero produced another moment of magic. The Fiorentina skipper scored a superb second goal. Sebastian De La Fuente's visitors ended a 7-game winless run in the league. Juve lost for the first time at home. 2-0 the final score. The top 2 teams in the relegation playoffs met, with Lazio and Como looking to finish 6th overall. Early on, Lazio's Martina Piemonte was denied a 13th goal of the season by a brave save by Astrid Gilardi. Against the run of play, the visitors would take the lead 2 minutes before the break. Lazio keeper Sara Settigna could only manage to push Alia Guagni's cross onto the bar, and Miriam Piki was on hand to bundle the ball in. That was Piki's first of the season. Lazio pressed for an equaliser, but with 15 minutes remaining, substitute Ellie Delestal ran onto a long ball from Gilardi. That was the second week in a row that Delestal had come off the bench to score. Her 7th league goal of the season saw Como move above Lazio in the table. It finished Lazio 0, Como 2. Two points separated bottom side Sampdoria and visiting Napoli ahead of their meeting in Genoa. Napoli had most of the play in a cagey encounter, while Cecilia Rey shot wide from the edge of the area with one of Sampdoria's rare chances in the second half. 0-0 was the final score. So in the Championship playoffs, Juventus slipped up against Fiorentina, but Inter failed to take full advantage as they drew with Milan. In the bottom half, Napoli will be happy with their point at Sampdoria. Juve's lead has been cut to 10 points and Inter do still have a game in hand. Defending champions Roma are third while Sampdoria remain bottom. Next week, Juve are idle as Milan host Roma and Fiorentina play Inter. That's all we have time for on Women's Football Weekly, but we'll be back with lots more goals from around Europe next week. From myself, Con Murphy and the rest of the team, it's goodbye for now.